Today, I'd like to talk about something that resonates with the deepest parts of who we are, something that speaks to the heart of our journey through life. It's the idea that God knows what is the best for you. Life is a journey filled with countless turns, twists, and unexpected detours. From the time we're young, we're often taught that success lies in planning, structuring, and meticulously orchestrating every aspect of our lives. Yet, the more we try to control our path, the more it seems to elude us. Despite our best efforts to carefully plan, we can't always foresee what lies ahead. And that's where a powerful, transformative idea comes in the belief that there's a bigger plan, one that is guided by a wisdom far beyond our understanding, and that ultimately God knows what is best for us. Trusting in this bigger plan requires a kind of surrender that feels paradoxical in a world that values control, achievement, and certainty. To let go of the need to know, to release the grip on what we think should happen, and to believe that there is a purpose to our lives that transcends our present understanding. This is a profound and often challenging act of faith. It's not about resigning ourselves to passivity or abandoning our dreams. Rather, it's about cultivating a sense of trust and openness to a journey that might look different from what we had originally imagined. Imagine a person standing at the edge of a vast, open field. In the distance, they can see a faint outline of a destination, but the path is obscured by mist with twists and turns that cannot be foreseen. This field represents our lives, filled with possibilities and unknowns, and the mist represents the limitations of our understanding. We can set out confidently in one direction, but we cannot always see the obstacles or unexpected blessings that lie along the way. Yet, while we might be unable to discern the details, there is something guiding us through the fog, an invisible hand, a higher wisdom that knows where we need to go, even if we don't. Trusting in this unseen plan does not mean we stop striving, working, or aiming for the goals we value. Rather, it means we approach our lives with a balance of intention and openness. We make our plans, we give our best efforts, and yet we remain receptive to adjustments, redirections, and even challenges, knowing that these are all part of a grander design that we may not fully understand yet. To trust in a higher plan is to embrace life as an unfolding journey, one that is full of purpose, even when it appears chaotic or unplanned. This type of trust is especially important when we face moments of uncertainty, failure, or disappointment. Think about the times when something didn't work out, when a relationship ended, when a career opportunity slipped away, or when a goal we held on to so tightly simply didn't come to fruition. In those moments, it's easy to feel as though we've lost our way or that life is unfair. Yet, often these experiences serve as powerful turning points that ultimately lead us to something better, something we wouldn't have found if we hadn't faced that initial setback. Looking back, many people realize that their greatest challenges led them to their greatest breakthroughs. This perspective can be comforting, especially when we're in the midst of a struggle. It reminds us that there might be something meaningful waiting on the other side, even if we can't see it right now. Consider, too, the times when unexpected blessings enter our lives, moments when something wonderful arrives out of the blue without planning or expectation. Perhaps it's a chance meeting with someone who becomes a close friend, a mentor, or a life partner. Or maybe it's an opportunity that opens up just when we need it most, even if we hadn't been actively seeking it. These coincidences feel like divine nudges, as if the universe itself is aligning things in our favor, nudging us closer to our true path. When we trust in a bigger plan, we become more attuned to these blessings, able to recognize them as part of the broader story of our lives. This perspective also encourages us to live more fully in the present. Often we become so fixated on our future goals that we overlook the beauty, lessons, and growth available in the here and now. Trusting in a higher plan allows us to release some of the anxiety that comes from constantly trying to control the future. Instead, we learn to appreciate each moment, each encounter, and each experience as valuable in its own right, understanding that each step is part of a journey that's being guided by something greater than ourselves. Of course, cultivating this level of trust isn't easy, especially in a world that prizes certainty and tangible results. We may face doubt, questioning, and even moments of frustration when things don't go as we planned. And yet, these moments offer us an opportunity to strengthen our faith, to deepen our resilience, and to remind ourselves that our understanding is limited. The mystery of life, the vastness of existence, and the sense that we're part of something much larger than ourselves can be a source of comfort and peace. When we release the need to know every detail, we allow life to surprise us, to shape us in ways that we couldn't have anticipated. Trusting that God knows what's best for us is, in many ways, about humility. It's an acknowledgement that we don't have all the answers, that we don't always know what's best for ourselves, even though we might think we do. This humility opens us up to grace, to the possibility that life, in all its complexity, holds a wisdom that goes beyond our personal desires or immediate understanding. By stepping back and allowing that grace to work in our lives, we open the door to experiences, relationships, and growth that might otherwise be closed off by our own limited perspectives. Ultimately, trusting in a bigger plan invites us to live with a sense of peace, knowing that we're guided and cared for, even in the face of uncertainty. It encourages us to walk through life with a lighter heart, free from the constant worry of having to control every outcome. It reminds us that we're not alone in our journey, that there's a wisdom, a presence, and a purpose that is shaping our path in ways we can't yet see. And as we move forward with this faith, we begin to experience life not as a series of isolated events, but as an interconnected tapestry, one woven together by love, purpose, and divine guidance. In the end, trusting that God knows what's best for us allows us to live with a profound sense of purpose, even when that purpose isn't immediately clear. It allows us to let go, to breathe, and to embrace the beautiful mystery of life. And in doing so, we find a sense of peace that comes not from knowing all the answers, but from believing that we're on the right path, guided by a hand far wiser than our own. Patience and timing are central themes when it comes to trusting that God knows what's best for us. In a world that increasingly rewards immediate results, instant gratification, and quick fixes, the notion of patience may seem old-fashioned or even counterproductive. We are conditioned to believe that if we're not moving forward as fast as possible, we're somehow missing out. But as anyone who has journeyed through life's highs and lows knows, true growth and fulfillment rarely happen in an instant. Often, the most meaningful achievements, the strongest relationships, and the most profound insights are born from a patient unfolding and unfolding and unfolding that respects the importance of timing and the wisdom in waiting. Patience, as a virtue, encourages us to pause, to breathe, and to embrace the present moment fully. When we talk about patience, we're not referring to a passive waiting, nor a resigned acceptance of delays or setbacks. Rather, we are talking about a conscious, active state of trust and peace. It's an understanding that while we may not have everything we desire right now, it's okay to let things evolve at their own pace. Patience allows us to recognize that sometimes waiting is not a limitation but a gift. It gives us space to learn, to adapt, and to prepare ourselves for the blessings that lie ahead. Timing, on the other hand, is one of life's greatest mysteries. Why do some things come to us effortlessly while others seem perpetually out of reach? Why do certain dreams manifest seemingly out of nowhere while others elude us for years? The answer may be that life's timing is often beyond our comprehension, orchestrated by forces and factors that we cannot see. There is a divine timing at play, a rhythm that, like the unfolding of seasons or the rising and setting of the sun, operates with a wisdom that transcends human understanding. When we trust in this timing, we allow ourselves to align with the natural ebb and flow of life. We learn to accept that sometimes things take longer than we'd like, not because we are unworthy or unprepared, but because the timing simply isn't right. Think about the process of planting a seed. No gardener plants a seed expecting to see a bloom overnight. The gardener knows that the seed must be watered, nurtured, and given time to root before it can break through the soil and blossom. This process requires patience and respect for timing. The seed, after all, has its own timeline. If we were to dig it up or rush its growth, we would only hinder the beauty it is meant to become. In much the same way, our lives require periods of quiet growth, times when we might not see immediate progress but are actually laying the foundation for something greater. Patience allows us to handle these in-between moments with grace. These are the times when we feel as though we're waiting in life's hallway, uncertain of what lies behind the next door. It's in these periods that we learn resilience, humility, and faith. We begin to understand that waiting doesn't mean stagnation, rather, it is an essential part of growth. We use this time to strengthen our character, to refine our goals, and to prepare ourselves mentally, emotionally, and spiritually for what lies ahead. Far from being idle, these moments of waiting are opportunities for deep personal development. One of the beautiful things about patience is that it teaches us to be present. Often when we are in a hurry to reach the next milestone, we overlook the present moment, missing out on valuable lessons and experiences that are meant to enrich our journey. When we practice patience, we become more attuned to the richness of each day. We begin to notice the small joys, the connections we make, and the subtle ways in which life is preparing us for what is to come. By grounding ourselves in the present, we are better able to appreciate the journey rather than merely racing toward the destination. Moreover, patience allows us to embrace uncertainty without fear. When we trust that the timing of our lives is divinely orchestrated, we can release some of the anxiety that comes from not knowing what's next. Uncertainty is a natural part of life, and while it can be uncomfortable, it also holds immense potential for growth. By being patient, we accept that we don't have all the answers, and that's okay. In fact, some of life's most precious moments are born from the unknown. We find that when we stop trying to force answers and simply allow things to unfold, clarity often arrives on its own, bringing with it insights that are more profound than anything we could have predicted. Patience and timing also shape our relationships. Sometimes we meet people who become instantly significant, while other connections take years to blossom. Friendships, partnerships, and love all have their own unique rhythms. We can't always rush or predict when the right person will come into our lives or when an existing relationship will deepen. In some cases, we might be ready for a connection, but the other person may still be on their journey. By practicing patience, we honor not only our own timing, but also the timing of others. We create space for genuine connections to develop naturally, without the pressure of expectation or haste. In a similar way, patience and timing apply to our goals and aspirations. Sometimes, despite our best efforts, a career milestone, a creative endeavor, or a personal dream doesn't materialize as quickly as we'd hoped. This delay doesn't necessarily mean we are on the wrong path. It might mean that more preparation is needed or that something even better is on its way. In retrospect, many people realize that had they achieved their goals at an earlier stage, they might not have been fully ready to handle them. The delay often serves as a form of preparation, allowing us to gain the skills, knowledge, and maturity needed to truly succeed when the time is right. Practicing patience allows us to see life through a lens of gratitude rather than frustration. We begin to appreciate the unfolding of our journey, recognizing that each phase has its own purpose. We realize that by rushing, we might miss out on important experiences that are necessary for our growth. Patience helps us to develop a sense of contentment with where we are, knowing that we are exactly where we're meant to be in this moment. It also reminds us that there is beauty in the waiting, that sometimes the anticipation itself can be a source of joy and excitement. Ultimately, patience and timing teach us to trust the process of life. They remind us that while we might not understand the timing of events, there is a greater wisdom at work, a rhythm that is perfectly aligned with our highest good. When we embrace patience, we align ourselves with this rhythm, allowing us to move forward with peace, purpose, and trust. We are able to let go of the need to control every aspect of our journey and instead allow life to unfold in its own beautiful, mysterious way. We find that by respecting the natural flow of things, we create a sense of harmony within ourselves, a harmony that carries us forward even through the most uncertain times. So as we navigate our lives, let us carry with us the wisdom of patience and the understanding of divine timing. Let us trust that every moment has its purpose, every delay its lesson, and every season its beauty. In embracing these truths, we open ourselves up to a life that is not only rich in achievements, but also filled with meaning, depth, and peace. And in the end, we come to realize that everything truly does happen in its own perfect time. Faith and surrender are two profound yet intertwined qualities that allow us to step into a life filled with peace, fulfillment, and understanding that goes beyond what our minds can fully comprehend. When we speak of faith, we often think of belief in a higher power, a divine force, or simply in the unseen and unknown possibilities that life holds. It's a belief that something larger than ourselves is guiding our journey, providing us with purpose, direction, and meaning. Surrender, on the other hand, involves a willingness to let go of our rigid control over life, our fears, and our incessant need to know the outcome of every situation. It's the act of loosening our grip, allowing life to unfold naturally and trusting that the universe, God, or a higher consciousness has a plan for us. Faith is what sustains us during uncertain times. It's easy to believe when life is going smoothly, when our plans are materializing, and when everything seems to be working in our favor. But true faith becomes especially valuable when we face challenges, disappointments, or unforeseen events that disrupt our sense of stability. In these moments, faith allows us to stay grounded. It offers a sense of reassurance that even when things aren't going the way we'd hoped, there is still a purpose behind them, a reason we may not yet understand. Faith is an inner knowing that, regardless of what happens, we are held, supported, and guided toward a greater good. Faith is not about blind optimism or pretending that everything will always work out according to our wishes. Instead, it's about embracing the uncertainties of life with an open heart, trusting that what is unfolding is exactly what we need to grow, learn, and evolve. Faith allows us to navigate the twists and turns of life without constantly feeling the need to have all the answers. It brings us a sense of calm in the face of the unknown, allowing us to live with a sense of purpose and hope, even when circumstances appear to be less than ideal. Surrender complements faith by inviting us to let go of our preconceived ideas about how life should unfold. When we surrender, we stop resisting the flow of life and instead embrace it with open arms. Surrender is not giving up on our dreams or aspirations. It's about releasing the need to force things to happen exactly the way we envision them. It's the acknowledgement that while we can set our intentions and work toward our goals, there are many factors beyond our control. By surrendering, we allow room for the unexpected, for divine intervention, and for the wisdom of life to reveal itself in ways that we might not have anticipated. In our modern society, surrender is often misunderstood as a weakness or a lack of ambition. However, true surrender requires strength, courage, and trust. It involves releasing the constant grip of our ego, which craves certainty, validation, and control. The ego often tells us that we must achieve specific outcomes to feel successful or happy, but surrender teaches us that true happiness doesn't depend on external circumstances. It comes from a deeper connection with our inner selves and with the universe. Surrender is about recognizing that our value and worth are not defined by our achievements or failures, but by our willingness to align with the flow of life. Faith and surrender together create a powerful foundation for inner peace. When we have faith, we believe that life is inherently good, that there is purpose and meaning woven into every experience. When we surrender, we release the need to micromanage life and allow things to unfold naturally. This combination allows us to move through life with a sense of freedom and joy, unburdened by the weight of constant worry and stress. We stop viewing challenges as obstacles to be overcome and instead see them as opportunities for growth. We start to trust that even the most difficult experiences serve a higher purpose, guiding us toward greater understanding, compassion, and self-awareness. Living with faith and surrender transforms our relationships, our work, and our sense of self. In relationships, faith allows us to trust others, to believe in their goodness, and to see beyond their imperfections. We stop trying to control the actions or thoughts of others, instead allowing them to be who they are with all their unique qualities and challenges. Surrender helps us to let go of expectations that can lead to disappointment and resentment. Instead, we embrace the people in our lives as they are, appreciating the gifts they bring and recognizing that our paths may intersect in ways we can't fully comprehend. This openness brings a sense of ease and harmony to our relationships, allowing them to flourish in ways that might not be possible if we were constantly trying to mold them to fit our ideals. In our work and creative endeavors, faith and surrender encourage us to follow our passions without becoming attached to specific outcomes. We may have dreams, goals, and visions, but we approach them with an understanding that success doesn't always look the way we imagine. Sometimes our efforts lead to unexpected opportunities or new directions we hadn't considered. Surrender allows us to pivot when needed, to be adaptable and open to the endless possibilities that life has to offer. When we work from a place of faith, we are motivated not by fear or the need for approval, but by a genuine desire to share our gifts and contribute to the world in meaningful ways. We trust that our efforts will bear fruit in their own time and that, even if we encounter setbacks, they are part of a larger journey that will ultimately lead us where we need to be. Faith and surrender also transform our relationship with ourselves. Often we are our harshest critics, holding ourselves to impossibly high standards and feeling disappointed when we fall short. Faith teaches us to be gentle with ourselves, to recognize that we are constantly learning and growing. Surrender allows us to accept our imperfections, to let go of the need to be perfect, and to embrace the beauty of our unique journey. By having faith in our inherent worth and value, we stop looking outside ourselves for validation. We come to understand that we are enough just as we are, and that our worth isn't determined by our accomplishments or the opinions of others. One of the greatest gifts of faith and surrender is the ability to live in the present moment. So often we are caught up in thoughts of the past or worries about the future. Faith reminds us that we are exactly where we need to be, and surrender invites us to release our attachment to the past and our anxiety about what lies ahead. By embracing the present moment, we experience life more fully, finding joy in simple pleasures and gratitude for the journey itself. We stop postponing our happiness, recognizing that life is happening right now, and that each moment is an opportunity to connect with ourselves, others, and the world around us. Living with faith and surrender doesn't mean we become passive or indifferent to our lives. Rather, it means we approach life with a sense of openness, curiosity, and wonder. We continue to dream, to set goals, and to pursue our passions, but we do so with an understanding that the outcome is ultimately beyond our control. This perspective allows us to enjoy the joy of the journey, to savor each step, and to appreciate the beauty of life's unfolding. We no longer feel the need to rush or force things to happen. Instead, we trust that everything will come together in its own time and in its own way. In the end, faith and surrender are about letting go of the illusion of control and embracing the mystery of life. They teach us that while we may not always understand why things happen the way they do, there is a greater intelligence at work, guiding us toward our highest good. By cultivating faith and practicing surrender, we allow ourselves to experience life more fully, with a sense of peace, joy, and purpose. We learn to trust that, even in the face of uncertainty, we are always exactly where we need to be. Life's experiences, both good and challenging, are like chapters in a book that we cannot skip or avoid. Each chapter holds unique lessons and insights that are essential to our personal growth and transformation. While some experiences fill us with joy and satisfaction, others challenge us, pushing us out of our comfort zones or even bringing pain and difficulty. However, when we look at each experience as an opportunity for growth, we begin to see that there is a purpose behind everything we encounter. This perspective allows us to approach life's unpredictable nature with acceptance and resilience, trusting that each experience contributes to shaping us into the person we are meant to become. One of the most powerful things we can realize is that growth often emerges from situations we initially perceive as setbacks or failures. When we experience disappointment, loss, or frustration, it's easy to view these moments as obstacles standing in the way of our happiness or success. However, when we shift our perspective and choose to see these experiences as opportunities for growth, they become transformative. Instead of feeling defeated or stuck, we learn to look for the hidden lessons or insights that these situations have to offer. This mindset empowers us to use every experience as a stepping stone toward greater resilience, wisdom, and understanding. The process of personal growth is rarely linear or predictable. Just as in nature, where seasons change and plants grow in their own time, personal development happens at its own pace, often in ways that we do not expect. Each experience contributes to this process, adding layers of wisdom and depth to our understanding of ourselves and the world. For example, when we face challenges that test our patience, we are given an opportunity to develop greater self-control and empathy. When we encounter situations that push us beyond our limits, we gain insight into our own strength and resilience. Every experience, no matter how small or insignificant it may seem, plays a role in our journey of self-discovery and personal growth. Growth also often requires us to confront aspects of ourselves that we may prefer to avoid. Certain experiences have a way of bringing our hidden fears, insecurities, or unresolved emotions to the surface. These are moments that invite us to examine our own behaviors, beliefs, and patterns with honesty and courage. When we look at our experiences as opportunities for growth, we learn to see these moments as necessary for our evolution. Instead of running away from uncomfortable feelings or situations, we embrace them as a chance to gain greater self-awareness and to work through the areas of our lives that may need healing or improvement. This inner work is not always easy, but it is deeply rewarding as it leads to a stronger, more authentic connection with ourselves. Moreover, when we embrace life's experiences as opportunities for growth, we cultivate a sense of gratitude for the journey itself. This doesn't mean that we deny the pain or challenges we face, rather, it means we recognize that these experiences have value and significance. Gratitude for the journey encourages us to focus on the present moment, to appreciate where we are right now, and to trust that every experience is contributing to our growth in ways that may not yet be clear. This attitude of gratitude transforms the way we view life, helping us to see beauty and purpose even in the most difficult situations. It reminds us that growth is an ongoing process and that every step of the journey holds meaning and importance. Life's experiences also teach us about our values and priorities. As we navigate different situations, we gain clarity about what truly matters to us and what we are willing to stand for. For instance, through experiences of conflict or disagreement, we learn about our boundaries, our non-negotiables, and the principles that guide our actions. Through joyful moments, we discover what brings us happiness and fulfillment. By reflecting on our experiences, we develop a stronger sense of self and a clearer understanding of our purpose. Each experience, whether positive or challenging, reveals something about who we are and what we aspire to become. When we look at life's experiences as opportunities for growth, we also learn to let go of comparison. Each person's journey is unique, shaped by their own set of experiences, challenges, and aspirations. It's easy to fall into the trap of comparing ourselves to others, measuring our progress against external standards or societal expectations. However, when we recognize that our experiences are tailored to our own growth, we understand that there is no single path to success or fulfillment. We become more compassionate with ourselves and others, accepting that we are each on our own unique journey with our own lessons to learn. This perspective frees us from the pressure of comparison and allows us to focus on our personal growth, trusting that we are exactly where we need to be. Embracing life's experiences as opportunities for growth also teaches us to live with resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from challenges, to adapt to changing circumstances, and to keep moving forward, even when the path is uncertain. When we approach each experience as a chance to grow, we become more resilient, as we learn to see obstacles not as roadblocks, but as opportunities to develop new skills, perspectives, or strengths. This resilience helps us to navigate life's ups and downs with greater ease, as we trust in our ability to learn and grow from whatever comes our way. Instead of fearing challenges, we welcome them as part of our journey, knowing that they have the potential to make us stronger and wiser. Furthermore, life's experiences help us to develop empathy and compassion. When we face challenges or difficulties, we gain a deeper understanding of what others may be going through. This empathy allows us to connect with people on a more profound level, offering support, understanding, and kindness to those around us. Our own experiences of struggle or pain become a bridge that connects us with others, fostering a sense of shared humanity and mutual support. Through our experiences, we learn that everyone is navigating their own challenges, and this realization encourages us to approach others with an open heart and a willingness to understand their unique journey. By embracing each experience as an opportunity for growth, we also cultivate a sense of openness and curiosity about life. Instead of fearing the unknown or resisting change, we learn to approach life with a spirit of exploration. We become curious about what each new experience will bring, trusting that it will offer something valuable, even if it doesn't align with our expectations. This curiosity allows us to approach life with a sense of wonder, embracing the mystery and unpredictability of the journey. We let go of rigid expectations and open ourselves to new possibilities, allowing life to surprise us in beautiful and unexpected ways. Ultimately, when we view each experience as an opportunity for growth, we align ourselves with the natural flow of life. We stop fighting against reality and instead learn to move in harmony with it, trusting that everything we encounter serves a purpose. This perspective empowers us to live with greater peace, fulfillment, and acceptance, as we recognize that every moment is an essential part of our journey. We no longer see life as a series of random events, but as a carefully woven tapestry of experiences designed to guide us toward our highest potential. Living with this awareness allows us to be fully present in each moment, embracing the highs and lows with equal gratitude. We understand that growth is not about reaching a specific destination, but about continuously evolving, learning, and expanding. This approach to life brings a sense of freedom, as we let go of the need to control every outcome and instead allow life to unfold in its own time and way. We become more attuned to the lessons that each experience offers, gaining wisdom, strength, and insight that enrich our lives and the lives of those around us. In the end, viewing life's experiences as opportunities for growth allows us to live with a deep sense of purpose, trust, and fulfillment. We understand that life is a journey of self-discovery and that every experience, no matter how small or significant, plays a role in helping us to become the person we are meant to be. By embracing this perspective, we open ourselves to the richness of life, finding meaning and joy in every moment, and trusting that each experience is guiding us toward a life of greater understanding, compassion, and inner peace.